Hey everybody, this is Michael Cross, and I wanted to share this latest episode of the Okie Geek Podcast interview on the Extra Life at Game HQ 24-hour event, because Red Dirt D&D is doing its part to help raise money for the Oklahoma Children's Health Foundation. This Saturday, October 29th, the cast of Red Dirt D&D and Secrets of Monster Island are holding a live actual play event from noon to 4 p.m., so come join us and help us raise money for Extra Life at twitch.tv/reddirtdnd. In the meantime, I hope you enjoy this bonus episode of the Okie Geek Podcast. If so, you can find the show wherever you get podcasts. And check out kosu.org, where you can find other great shows like Focus Black Oklahoma and Songwriters and Tour Writers. Greetings and salutations, my fellow geeks, and welcome to episode 284 of the Okie Geek Podcast, brought to you by Okie Comics. I'm Michael Cross. Extra Life 2022 is coming to Game HQ Friday, November 4th through Saturday, November 5th. The 24-hour tabletop gaming event raises money for the Oklahoma Children's Health Foundation. Here to talk about the celebration is organizer Amber Hannigan. Amber, welcome back to the show.
Thank you for having me again.
So for those who don't know, tell us what Extra Life at Game HQ is all about.
So Extra Life, big picture, is a fundraising campaign that's for Children's Miracle Network. It's actually a nationwide, and I think like in other, like Canada and a few other countries, campaign where gamers can basically raise money for their local children's hospital. And it started as a 24-hour event, and that's still what we do locally, but not everyone does 24 hours anymore. It's basically just a way to, like, you can set up an Extra Life page and you can make your own goal as little as like $100, and then you can pick your local hospital, and then you can just do fun things like gaming and raise money for that. So locally, our event is a tabletop event, and this is our 9th year. So
Wow.
We're coming on a decade of doing this now. And basically, we there's a store in South Oklahoma City called Game HQ, and they've been an amazing partner to us this entire time. And they let us have the store, which they have a game side of the store where everyone can game. They let us have that area for the full 24 hours, and we take it over and we play games. D&D, Pathfinder, board games, 40K, like a ton of games, which we'll get into more. And we raise money for the Children's Hospital. And our goal this year is $15,000.
Trying to raise $15,000. How does that compare with past years?
So last year we raised probably close to like $13,000, but our goal was like $7,500. And then the year before that, well, in 2019, which was the last before pre-COVID year, we raised over $10,000 that year. And we're already at almost $4,000 online. So
Wow.
I feel like we're gonna make it.
Yeah, it's always grown every year. I think last year, if I remember correctly, we actually did more in the 13,000 than we had done all the previous years combined. Wasn't that about close?
No, because we did over 10,000 in 2019.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah,
true.
yeah.
But it was
So,
still
like,
a great record.
It was a great record, especially post-COVID, and we weren't sure, like, it was a totally masked event, and like we weren't sure what the turnout was going to be, or like what people's like fundings was going to look like and all that. So it was really awesome.
Yeah, it was amazing. And the best part about last year was people were there all night long. Usually I would show up in the morning and there'd be like 5 or 6 people. But there are things going on this year all night long, including one of my favorite thoughts is playing Vampire the Masquerade 20th anniversary at midnight. I think that's a great.
Yeah, that one's
wonderful.
going. Actually, it starts like 8 p.m. and goes all the way to 6 a.m. It's the way they have that. So, spooky.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a perfect time of the year for it.
Running that and Town of Salem at the same time, just perfect. Just seems perfect.
Yeah, we have Town of Salem overnight, and then also this year we have Rock Band overnight that we're going to be doing. So that's different and new kind of a thing. I feel like there's just more, because we saw like people staying overnight. Like there's a Power Ranger, or there's a Death Battle game. There's there's D&D scheduled in like the 3 to 7 a.m. Like there's an exit game at 3 a.m., which is like it's like an escape room style game where like basically you open up the box and then like you complete the whole thing, and it's like a one-time kind of game sort of thing.
Fun. That sounds fantastic. We do have Dungeons and Dragons going on. At least we know guaranteed events on Friday night and Saturday afternoon. Talk to me about those.
Yeah, so there is D&D going on the whole time. There's tier 3 homebrew D&D starting on Friday evening at 7, and then at 11 p.m. there'll be a tier 1 and tier 2 games going on, including like a D&D like Cards Against Humanity style sort of game, it sounds like. And then we have our competitive event that is going to start, we'll start tabling at 7:30, and this one sounds like a lot of fun. You might like know a little bit about it. Like Ash King, who is the Red Dirt DnD DM, is going to be running this one, and they've made it is it a jackalope hunt?
It's the Great Jackalope Hunt.
Great Jackalope Hunt, right? And so each table will be competing to try and find the most jackalopes, essentially. And they told me this morning that everyone who just enters, it's a $15 entry, and of course everything goes to charity. Everyone who enters is going to get these limited edition D20s, like Red Dirt D&D D20s that they had made, and they're also going to get some stickers, and then we'll have some raffle tickets too. So like everyone who enters gets something, so that's super fun. And then there'll be some extra prizes for those top 2 tables, and so those are the ones that catch the most jackalopes.
Exactly. You mentioned a $15 entry. That before we get into some of the other games, because we got so many more and other events to talk about, but just kind of go through some of the pricing for some of the donations and what people can get.
Yeah. So some of the things is like for everyone should know about is meals. So we feed you the whole time because we want you to be able to stay and play for as long as you want. So our meals are going to be priced individually, or you can do a gold armband on Friday. That's $30, and that includes all the meals for the whole weekend, plus 10 raffle tickets and some special extra life buttons, like pin buttons.
Yeah.
And so Friday at 7 p.m. On the Border has sponsored, and we'll be getting an On the Border setup, which is going to be like tacos and that sort of a thing, and a drink, and that'll be $10 if you wanted to just do that. And then going into Saturday at midnight, we're going to have Rome Coffee is coming in, and it's like delicious cold brew coffee. Like they brought it last year, and it like was a savior.
Oh yeah.
And it was so good. And I thought I didn't like cold brew until I tried this coffee. It was so good. So we're going to like bring in some coffee and a snack at midnight, and then that's bundled together with breakfast at 8 a.m. And we'll have Sunnyside Diners providing some breakfast and Krispy Kreme as well. And for $6, you can get all of that. And then at lunch, Shenanigans Unplugged, who's like one of our volunteers who's been there since the beginning and always helped. He works at Charleston's, and he's generously donating Charleston's for lunch. I believe it's going to be like pork chops and chicken fingers, I think. And then so you get that and a drink for $10. And then by 5 p.m., we're going to feed you one more time. And that's Domino's Pizza has donated that. And you get Domino's and a drink for $8. So you'll get well fed there. On top of that, another like big way that we raise money is through our raffles. And so we have raffle drawings, 4 different raffle drawings throughout the event. So you have like 4 opportunities to like drop in, and like you get to individually drop your tickets on what you want. So it's not just like a all holds kind of thing. You can be like, oh, I really want, that board game or something like that. And you can put like all your tickets in that, or spread them out however you want to do it. So we have drawings at 10 p.m., 1 a.m., 11 a.m., and then we close it off at 7 p.m. So those raffle tickets are going to be $1 each, or you can get 25 for 20. So of course that stacks up. We also have a specially designed, every year we do a different design t-shirt. This year, we designed a cute little wizard. We've always done like kind of children. In the past, we did a meeple, but now we're doing like children to represent the Children's Hospital. And like last year we did a cleric, and this year it's a wizard, and she's just super cute. And she'll be on that t-shirt, and that's $20. And those are unisex sizes, small through 4X, while supplies last. We'll also have her on a holographic sticker, so it's $4 or 3 for 10 on those. And then we had Bobby Jackson, which if you're in the miniature community, he's like a huge Reaper miniature designer, so he makes a lot of your favorite Reaper miniatures. He was really cool, and he was designed our miniature this year. So he actually like 3D designed this character into a model, and we'll be printing that miniature, and that will be available for $10. Or if you want to go big,
That's right.
we have a legendary bundle that's $100, and you have only 20 of those available, and I've actually already sold 2.
Wow.
So that will include our that limited edition figure. It'll include the t-shirt, the gold armband that we talked about earlier. You'll get a special badge and lanyard, Extra Life branded. We've got some stickers. You'll get raffle tickets with that. So we've got sunglasses, just like a whole basically swag bag. So there's a limited number of those. So get there Friday, or you can buy them on our website, and I'll share that
Yeah.
later. So that's the big things. Other than that, it's like entry fees,
Mhm.
and some things have entry fees and others don't. And then there's perks in game, and some games have perks within the game that is optional to like purchase.
One of the events going on is miniature painting. Talk to me about that.
Yeah, I'm really excited for this year. We've like always wanted, we've done a little bit of miniature painting, like some classes and stuff in the past. So this year we were able to blow it out. And part of that is because of Game HQ expanding. So if you've been to Game HQ in the past, they already had a very large game room. They were fortunate enough to be able to rent the space next door that's been empty. And so they've pulled the wall down. They've been expanding into there. So there'll be a little bit more floor space. So we have more tables this year on the floor. And then they have 3 rooms available. So the way we're going to do the rooms is 2 of them are going to be dedicated to miniature painting. And so one room is going to be classes the whole time. And so we've got like beginner miniature painting classes. We've got a blending class that's like a little bit like next step. We also have a basing class. So if you're interested in putting a base on your miniature, we have that. And then we have a texturing class. And these are all by like award-winning miniature painters. So it's really cool to get that opportunity. And it's just $10. The space is limited because of the rooms. So if you're interested in those, definitely get there and sign up. The second room is going to be more fun and games. We'll start off Friday with what's called hobby hijinks in the community. Like it's like, will probably be like a Sophie Says. So like Sophie's the mascot of Reaper Miniatures, and we play like a Simon Says, but with like miniatures. So it's like Sophie says, paint, put purple on your miniature, or like, and it can just obviously get crazier from there. And then we'll do paint and take throughout the day, which is going to be free. So you can just come in, pick up a free miniature and paint and try your skills at painting. And then between that on Saturday, if you are a painter, or even if you're not a painter, this is honestly one of my favorite activities. It's called speed paint, speed paint competition. And it's a 45-minute, and you get one mini, and you have to paint it to the best of your ability. And so the one tip I would give on this is just make sure the whole mini is covered in paint, like even the base. So even if it's not perfect, like you make sure like everything is covered, and then they get judged. And those are going to be like a $5 entry, but basically there'll be prizes for the top, I think 2 or 3 winners for each of those. And then the top 2 for each is going to go to like a finals at 6 p.m. And then there'll be like a bigger prize.
That's so much fun.
Just a few things.
That's so much fun. And I love the idea of, because a lot of people might not have interest necessarily in doing any kind of gaming, but painting, we last year we had a lot of young people who would just come in and sit at the table and start painting their painting miniatures.
Yeah, and all the supplies are there. It's like it's super like relaxing. I feel like even if you did come to game, like it's a good in between, because there's always going to be some painting going on. It's just a lot of fun.
That's fantastic. We do have BattleTech going on, Warhammer. For those who don't know, what do we know about Warhammer and BattleTech? What is that?
So these are games that essentially they use miniatures as well, and they're like you're battling with the miniatures on a large table, and they'll usually be like props as well. Like they'll build out almost like a city. And you'll be able to learn, like if you've never played before. The people are really awesome. Yeah. They've always been there too, especially the BattleTech community here is really big. They've also donated a lot to our raffles. they're always happy to teach you. Battletech is like mechs, and they're like, it's like I'm doing with my fingers, like if people can see me, but they're bigger than like the miniatures that we're probably going to be like painting in the mini painting. They're a little bit bigger, and they just kind of battle each other. I've never played it. I'm like more of a fantasy miniatures kind of person, but they always look like they have a blast over there, and they love teaching new people.
Yeah, we're gonna have card games, board games, RPGs. It's an entire table just dedicated to a variety of things. We mentioned Vampire, but we've also got My Little Pony at 11 o'clock on Saturday.
So we have a community member who is a big fan of two things, Power Rangers and My Little Pony, and he is bringing that passion, and I really hope you guys check it out. He's got a couple of games. He's got a Power Rangers deck builder. He's going to be starting at on Friday evening, and then Power Ranger Heroes of the Grid. I want to say this is actually an RPG of Power Rangers, and then in the morning he'll be doing some Twilight Sparkle and My Little Pony games that look really cute and fun, and it's just a chance to try something new you've never tried before. And then we've got and the board game Oklahoma Tabletop Game Club has always been a huge supporter of us, and they are going to be running Red Dragon Inn on Friday, and then they're going to do cat games Friday and Saturday. So these are just like a ton of different board games that are like cat themed, like they have a cat present in them. It's super cute and fun. It was really fun last year. People really enjoyed it. In the morning on Saturday, they're going to be doing a wingspan competition, and that's a pretty popular game. And in the afternoon on Saturday, they're doing a dice throne tournament. So.
Oh, fun. Just so much fun. And so I love Red Dragon Inn because it really feels like after you've played D&D, then go to Red Dragon Inn and just it's
mess around.
Yeah, exactly.
like a pretend drunk.
Yeah, exactly. It's it's like your party going to the inn after they've already had their adventure, and then you just celebrate and have fun.
Yeah, and like gamble.
Yeah.
So why it's a great fundraising game, though.
Yeah, it's perfect for it. And then we've got, of course, Pathfinder and Starfinder. Don't want to leave them out. That looks like that's going on the entire time.
Yeah, just about. We've got Starfinder mostly on Friday, and they're going to do their epic, and that's called Perils of the Past. They're running that from 8 to midnight on Saturday or on Friday. And then overnight, they've got a really long game, midnight to 6 a.m., Attack of the Swarm table that's going to be going on Starfinder. And then they kick off Pathfinder right in the morning, and it looks like kind of an intro game. And again, like all of these games are newbie friendly. So if you've ever like considered Pathfinder, you want to know what the heck Pathfinder is, which Pathfinder and Starfinder are tabletop role-playing games, much like Dungeons and Dragons. They're just set in their own worlds. Starfinder is more of a sci-fi kind of setting in space. So if you're not into the fantasy, I know a lot of people who enjoy Starfinder because of that. And then they're also doing a second edition Pathfinder one-shot Saturday afternoon.
So much fun. And then for D&D, we've got, of course, the Adventurers League games will be playing. There will be DMs there the entire weekend. Or the entire 24 hours. I shouldn't say weekend because we will actually leave at 7 o'clock.
It's Friday to
night.
Saturday. We get our Sunday back, which I think is a daylight savings.
It is. I was thinking that too. It's like, so we get home and I get an extra hour of sleep. That's fabulous.
Yeah. So, so we've got, that competitive we talked about earlier, the Great Jackalope Hunt on Friday. On top of that, we've got tier 3, tier 1, tier 2. Going through the night, and then we have actually several a couple open play tables too this year because we got that extra space. So if it's first come first serve, but there's something like you really want to run, bring it. You have it prepared. I'm sure you can find players as well, or if you're a player looking for something, you'll find something to do. We're doing Adventurers League Spelljammer Academy in the morning, Saturday morning. And these are really short. I've actually just about completed these adventures in my own game. And they're short little fun adventures and kind of introduces you to like the Spelljammer kind of world. And then we have some youth D&D tables, which I'm really happy to have this year. So if you have a kiddo that is interested in D&D, but they'd rather play with kids their own age, kids to teenagers, that's what this is for. We have a DM that's been running youth tables at the store for a really long time now, so he's really experienced running with kids. And we got 2 tables for that in the morning from 7 a.m. to 11 a.m. So get those kids up early.
Yeah.
And I believe they're like a series of one shots. So, come in and, get them playing with other kids. And then we have the cap of the evening, which is the epic, the D&D epic everyone looks forward to. And we start mustering for that at, I believe, around 1:00. This is going to be right after lunch. And we have tier 1 through 4 on this, which means like levels 1 through 20.
Yeah.
So if you have a tier 4 DDAL character or tier 3, you've been wanting to play something really cool, and this is your opportunity. So show up and play. But also, like, if you've never played DDAL, you can make a level 1 character pretty much.
You can now actually make a level 5 character. The new rules allow you to. That's not 60. If you've never played Dungeons and Dragons before, folks, don't come in trying to do level 5. You'll want to start at level 1. But it's mainly, I think, for those experienced players. We've been playing now for 10 years or something like that, and we know how to run a level 5, and we don't necessarily want to go, start at a level 1. So for those experienced players, you can start out at level 5, which is good. You can jump right into a tier 2 game without having ever done AL before. So that's kind of nice. What is this 100 Floors of Doom?
So that's a singular table, and I think it's already claimed.
Okay, that's what I thought too.
It's kind of like someone was like, look, I have an idea. It's basically like a dungeon crawl as far as I can tell, 100 Floors of Doom. And this lady Cindy was like, I have kind of a sponsored table, and we're gonna, we've already got the money that we're raising for it, and we're gonna play the full 24 hours, and they committed to it, and we've got the extra space this year. So that's that. I am not 100% if there's like any room left at that table. You just have to come and find out Friday.
Yeah, if you come in at Friday at 7:00, you can check with Cindy and see if there's any room.
Cindy, can I join? I mean, if you're down to play at 24 hours, I am not condoning or anyone's sleep deprivation here. And that's part of it too. Like, we have 24 hours of events, but we don't expect anyone to stay for the full 24 hours. I certainly do not. I will be at least getting 3 to 4 hours in at some point. But yeah, we want everyone to stay safe and healthy.
Yeah, which is fantastic. I mean, it's what we've always done. I think we've kind of shifted out the volunteers. Some of them go and take a nap while the others kind of watch what's going on. Again, because last year it was busy all the way through the night. But this way, everyone can get some rest. And come on in, come do the jackalope hunt, or come do some painting, and then go home, take a little bit of a rest, and then come back. And it's just been gaming all the time, so you can always come in and out as you need to. Yeah, it's super fun. And we've got the schedule posted now on our website. So if you want to start kind of planning your time, that website is extra-life.org/participant/OKC. And that will get you to our Extra Life page, where I've posted the schedule this morning, as well as full. There's a link to the schedule and a link to the full descriptions. I'm still updating it, but I've also got those meals and raffle tickets, all that information I talked about here. If you were like, what, my head's spinning, that sounds like a lot of money. Yeah. It's really not. It's kind of just like pay what you want sort of a thing. You can pick and choose. A lot of games are free to play, or they're low to play. Like, there's free D&D, for example, but there's going to be perks at the table. Like, you can pay $1 to like do a reroll, or like, I can't remember. It's like $5 or $10, something like that for Magic Surge.
Exactly, a wild magic surge. So there's just fun things you can do at the table, and that's usually just like there's a bucket at the table, and you can like collect or put an IOU in there. We have a registration area this year. If you've been to Extra Life in the past, it's not going to be on the left side where Game HQ's checkout is. We're going to have it in one of those new rooms on the right side. Oh, good. Yeah, so that'll give us like a little bit more room. Like, it gets really crowded over there. And so I think it's going to be in the middle room, but it's like that whole area is still so new. So I'm going to get in Friday and like kind of do layout and figure things out next Friday. Yeah, it's all new. They just now finished the rooms, and because the last time I was there, they were still building that out. So I'm
really, really excited to see this place, and it's gonna be so much fun. Why Extra Life? Why Children's Hospital? Why is that important to you?
Yeah, my brother was sick when he was little, and I lived in Hawaii, so like he had to be hospitalized on another island, and it was just like really tough on our family. So I always like think about how tough it is on families when you have a sick kid or you have an injured kid, and also how tough it was like on our wallets. Like we didn't make a lot of money and stuff like that, and like the Ronald McDonald House was full. My parents didn't really have anywhere to stay, and they made it work, obviously, because it's your kid and you'll do anything for them. But what's great about Children's Miracle Network and Children's Health Foundation, which is who we fund here in Oklahoma City, is they serve the whole state, all 77 counties, and they will not turn away any kid or family regardless of ability to pay. So we'll help those people out and make sure they have what they need to get their kid through one of the hardest times of their life. So for me, that's my personal mission. Like everyone has their own personal mission, and we also help the specifically the adolescent medicine program, which is for like those teens and like young adults who become, kind of like age out of pediatrics. And this program doesn't get like a ton of funding. They also help LGBTQ youth here in the state, which is getting tougher and tougher all the time. So they just help kids that are in that like in between time. And it's a really great program, and we've met like the head of it, and she's just a wonderful person. And it's great when like you're giving money locally and you can see where your dollars make a difference.
Yeah, and it just fits with gamers because we're very giving, we're very open. It's just the kind of people that we are willing to help out these people who are in need.
Yeah. This community is like
Yeah.
astounds me. I mean, like I cry like every year. Like it just like astounds me. Like, everyone's like so giving. Like I said, I've already sold like 2 of the $100 legendary bundles. Like it's just a regular that comes every year, and he like messaged me. He's like, I want to make sure I get in on that, and like, people will just donate and like not even expect anything and stuff like that. And that's like what's so fun. But we try to give you like some fun activities and like some fun giveaways, and like part of that is because we have these amazing sponsors, also like the community of businesses, like not even just Game HQ, like every game store pretty much in the metro participates, like Common Space Game Cafe, like we have Deadlift New World Comics and Games, Deadlift Collectibles, we have Edmund Unplugged, SoonerCon, donates like some big baskets, cash, like Sunnyside, like there's a huge list on our website, and it's like it just grows and grows, and it actually becomes like a little like overwhelming where I'm like trying to cut it off because I'm like I have to like sort everything, guys.
This takes me time.
It takes me time, and like I have a full-time job, and this is but it's so generous. And like even like the breweries, like Coop Ale Works, we have 405 Brewing, we have Elk Valley Brewing, like they have all stepped up. They're like and they're like really big nerds and gamers too. Like a lot of them are doing D&D and like paint nights at their own at their breweries and stuff like that. So that's really cool. What I also am excited about this year is like we've had a lot of local artists step up. Broken Stitches, Art of Alexandra Brott, Jerry Bennett, Cicada Songs Design. So all of them are just like local artists who have given us like art pieces that are going to be in the raffle and stuff like that. So it's just like a whole community event.
Yeah, and since it's been around for 9 years, it's really proven that it is an actual thing that matters, and people are now paying attention to Extra Life at Game HQ, Extra Life in Oklahoma, period.
Yeah, it's definitely a lot easier than when we started. Yeah, and like what's really cool too is like this year I volunteer with SoonerCon and with MiracleCon, which was an Extra Life convention that we had earlier this summer. And at both of those events I had just random people coming up to me asking about Extra Life, like when is Extra Life, when are we going to know more about Extra Life and stuff like that. So that just like really warms my heart that it's become like an event that people look forward to year after year.
Yeah. So where can people find out more information on the event and on Extra Life?
Yeah, so biggest place is our website, extra-life.org/participant/OKC. You can get our schedule, and everything is going to be on there, all the information you need. It's going to be November 4th and 5th. I don't even know if we said the dates yet. At Game HQ in Oklahoma City. It kicks off, I think we kick off registration around 6 p.m. And we're going to go all the way till 7 p.m. the next day. On that Extra Life page, extra-life.org/participant/OKC, you can pre-buy some things like your raffle tickets if you want, and then basically you just need to show that you bought that to registration, and they'll give you your raffle tickets. We've got some of the t-shirts up there. I've got the legendary bundle up there if you want to buy that now. You can also find us on Facebook. It's Extra Life at Game HQ. If you look for that event, I like to have that Facebook event because it'll give me reminders and stuff like that. And yeah, those are the two biggest places you can find more information.
Yeah, yesterday I think I searched because I couldn't remember the full address, and I think I just went to extra-life.org. I just searched Game HQ, and it pulled it right up. So, folks, if you can't remember the participant/OKC, just go to extra-life.org and put in Game HQ, and you'll find that right there. And it's gonna be a blast. And my first experience playing D&D and with my son was in 2017 at Extra Life at Game HQ in 2017, and I never looked back.
Met each other.
Yes, exactly. So I highly recommend coming down because it's just going to be a blast, and we're just going to have a lot of fun, play some games, and raise some money for some kids. It's going to be fantastic.
I think we're going to top, like, over the 9 years. We should top this year raising $50,000 over the 9 years. So that's amazing.
How much do we have to raise
because we're over we're already over 46,000. So.
Oh yeah, easily.
Yeah,
that's going to be fantastic. So come on down, and it's a blast. It's also it's right before the election, so you can forget about elections and news for 24 hours and just play games and just relax. It'll be fantastic. Amber,
good.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, and we're looking forward. We'll see you on November 4th, and it's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, can't wait.
So that's going to do it for our show. You can find us on Twitter and Facebook at Okie Geek Podcast. That's the address for our Gmail account. Would love to hear from you. You can find me on Twitter at KOSU Michael C. And do you or someone you know have an event coming up? Please let us know so we can talk about it on our show. You can also find us on Stitcher and Apple Podcasts. Be sure and subscribe, rate us, and leave a comment. Until next time, along with Amber Hannikin, I'm Michael Cross, reminding you to keep calm and geek on.